Okay, so this one is called Emulsion Printing. So I've got an image that I'm going to then print onto my piece of calico. Now this works on sort of thicker fabrics better. It doesn't tend to work quite so well on the smaller fabrics. This is emulsion paint. It's the sort of stuff that people might put in their houses, okay? I've got one paintbrush that we use for this, and only one paintbrush, because the paintbrush is actually rock solid with bits of this paint. So you use this paintbrush. It's not the easiest to spread out, mainly because people have ruined it. But place that on there. You can, if you are very careful and make sure you wash all of it out, put it on a different paintbrush if absolutely needed. But basically put that fairly thick on your piece of calico. Now my image I've put in black and in colour, black and white and in colour, just so that you can sort of see the difference about those two things. Idea is you really need to go fairly to the edges, or enough to cover your image. So if I'm just going to go with that, my image, you can also put paint on top of your image if you wanted to, and that also works quite well to sort of make it sure it sort of fuses together rather than just having them as two separate entities. So that goes on top face down, and use your hands to just sort of make sure that the image is properly pressed on to that one. Okay, so I've got a tray that's got some water in, not very much, you don't need much at all. You can do this just by running under the tap. Basically, the piece of work goes into there, and what you want to happen is for this image to start showing through. So the water really needs to sort of soak into the paper as much as it can. Then what you're doing is, you can do this under the water, you don't have to, you can do it, just take it, now it's wet, take it out, but gently you start using your finger to rub over the top of the image, and basically you're taking it off the back layer of paper, and then what should end up showing through is the image that you want to see. Be careful not to sort of put too much pressure on it, or you will end up sort of taking off the image from your fabric as well. There are some examples over on the board that you could go and have a look at if you wanted to. I think the effect, if you're looking for anything that's sort of like black and white or an older sort of version, works quite well. So what you want to see is something like that, and when it dries it sort of has kind of a whitish texture over the top that sort of makes it look a little bit faded and things like that. So that is something, not today, that you can try, but in the future, if you email me, say, a picture or something, I can get it printed and then we can have a go at this technique.